So after The Father, my first feature film, I really wanted to make that film. I mean, it was really clear to me that it was the story I wanted to tell. There was no room for any other movie. And so because it was a play, I really wanted not to film a play, and I didn't want to do something theatrical, but I really wanted to do something very cinematic. I often write a play or a script for an actor, or at least with an actor in mind. I think it's very inspiring, but for The Son, I have to say that this is not the way it happened. Actually, the only actor that I had in mind was Anthony Hopkins, because it was a new character, and we had such a powerful and intense journey together with The Father that I really wanted to work with him again. And but I wanted to write a part that was as far as possible from the one he had in The Father. But apart from him, I really wrote the script without any actor in mind. And this is what happened. One day I just received a letter from Hugh Jackman. I didn't know him, and he wanted to meet with me because he knew that I was working on The Son. He knew the play, and he wanted to convince me that the part was for him. And so I was really surprised and touched by his humility and his honesty. And so, of course, we met on Zoom, because at that time it was not possible to do something else than a Zoom. And after 20 minutes, I have to say that I offer him the part because I felt very strongly that he would be extraordinary in this part, because he was already so connected with the emotions that I wanted to explore. And there was so many things in his life that was going on around being a father and being a son, that I felt that it would be possible to explore those emotions, these emotions with him, without that it wouldn't be about performing or faking anything, but just about exploring something you have inside. So I was very excited about that meeting. And also, there is something special about him. And I think that everyone who has already met him would say the same, is that he's such an extraordinary human being, if it means anything, and I think it does. And it was really needed for the film, because it's a loving father. It's a father who is trying his best, even though sometimes he makes bad decisions. It's a loving father, and I really wanted the audience to feel empathy for that father. And I knew that Hugh would bring this empathy on screen. And then I met Laura Dern. I have always adored her. I mean, I like very much David Lynch's movies, and to me she embodies this world. And so I was very excited to have this opportunity to work with her. And also, she's a real mom in real life, and I felt that she would bring something truthful about being a mother, being lost, you know, when you do not know exactly what should be done, the fear, the love. I think I knew that she would be capable to bring something without trying to perform it, just to be these characters. And then I met Vanessa Kirby. I've been very impressed by what she did in Pieces of a Woman. I think she's so intense and gifted as an actress. I was really excited about meeting her. And what impressed me the most is that she's so committed. You know, every time she's making a film, she gives everything she has and everything she is to the role. And so I felt very grateful, you know, that she gave her grace and her intensity to the film. Obviously, I met so many young actors to be this Nicholas, and it was very important because it was the heart of the film. And it was very exciting to me to meet so many people and to know that somewhere there was, you know, this face I was looking for. And I have to say that the minute I met Zen on Zoom, I knew it was the right person. There is such a special sensibility in him. And on the other hand, he's very strong, I mean, capable to explore these emotions without being afraid. he was very, very brave during the shooting, and everyone, I think, has been impressed by his ability to explore these emotional places. And it has been such a joy to work with him. For the Sun, we didn't rehearse that much. I mean, we did, I think, just a read-through of the script, but I didn't want to rehearse too much. I come from the stage, I come from theater, so I'm very familiar with the process of rehearsing, and I like it very much. But I had this intuition for that film that it would be more impactful and efficient not to rehearse too much. Mainly because it's about a man losing the control of the situation, so I didn't want Hugh to be too aware of what was going on in a way. And also I felt that all the people involved in the film were somehow connected, not only with the story we were trying to tell, but also with the emotions, mainly for personal reasons. So I felt that it was maybe more interesting to discover things in the now, on set, all together, without being over-prepared, not to overthink things, but to allow ourselves to be surprised and overwhelmed by these emotions. Because I wanted the actors not to perform, to try to be as truthful as possible, to be themselves, in order to reach something unique and powerful. Of course, we had discussions about the backstories, but I tried to ask them to forget everything as soon as we started, and to have no protection in a way, just to be themselves with their own stories, their own histories, and to use their own feelings, their own fears to develop this story. I think what makes the story unique and urgent is probably the context. I mean, it was already true, I would say, before the pandemic, but it's even more true after the pandemic, because it was such a difficult experience for so many people who experienced to be alone, facing anxieties, and there are so many people that are dealing with mental health issues sometimes without even knowing that this is mental issues. And there are so many people that are alone with the pain. And so I think that we need to talk more about it, because the more we talk about it, the more we feel that it's fine to speak about it. I mean, the better it is for everyone. I think there are a lot of ignorance and a lot of shame about these topics, and the pain comes from ignorance and shame, and so it's so difficult to know how to react, in real life when you have a child suffering from mental health issue, and it's okay not to know. But I feel like when you're going through this kind of experience, what you feel is that you're all alone with your doubts, with your fear, and with your pain. And to make a film about that is also to make you feel part of something bigger than yourself, and to remember that we are all in the same boat, and that we can share experiences like that, emotions. And I think it helps and it heals.
Nicholas is suffering from acute depression.
You give us big speeches about life, and then you abandon us.
I have the right to reinvent my life!
完璧な親はいない。そして完璧な子供も。
That's my little boy. I can't give up on him.